Hey guys, good evening. Right, I am just going to try and invite a few people. So, just give me a sec whilst we're doing some invites, and then we can get started. So just bear with me. Won't take too long. And then if you are with me, let me know and say hello. Just give me a sec. So if you're watching on the replay, just jump forward about 2 seconds just whilst I am inviting a few people, and then we can make sure that we're here and we're doing what we need to do. I'm trying to do it with my big fat thumbs at the minute, so here we are. Bear with me. I think that's probably a fair amount of people to invite along, and then hopefully we can have a few people jump on. And I think that is probably about enough, really. That'll do. Right, here we go. Hi David, thanks for joining us. Right, so just a couple of seconds early. Yeah, definitely not the best things, are they? So I'm actually kind of doing it from the phone still, so I have to kind of invite with my big fat thumb, which isn't great, unfortunately. But right, so thanks for joining us. We are live, and it's our Tuesday training. So what I wanted to do today was talk around goal setting. Now, a few weeks back, we did a big challenge in the group on goals, and it went really, really well. And one of the courses that I do for people is on goal setting. So what I thought I would do today is just do some real basic training around goals, because I think, hi Caroline, I think it is something that people kind of know about, and we kind of think we've got an idea of, and we don't always know. So I really wanted to do some basic ideas around goal setting. So the biggest thing around goals is your whys and your hows, and I think it's knowing kind of what a goal is. So quite often you'll say you've got a goal, but you don't. What you've actually got is a dream. So first of all, the biggest thing you need to know is the difference between what a goal is and what a dream is. So a dream is something that you really want to do, always fancied doing, something that is kind of blue sky thinking, always wish I could have done that. A goal is exactly the same. The difference with a goal is you actually put action steps into place to make it happen. So with a dream, you're saying, I've always wanted to travel the world, but you don't have a passport. You haven't applied for a passport. You've never tried to obtain a passport. You're not going to travel the world without a passport. A goal will be I want to travel the world, and I've got some brochures, and I've got my passport, and I've booked some time off work, and I've started saving money. And so already we can see the difference. And with a dream is less likely to happen, whereas a goal is more likely to happen. With a dream, it's something that you've always wished you could have done. Looking back on hindsight, wish I'd done that. That was my dream. A goal is, this is what I want to do, and I'm actually going to do it. And that's the big difference. And what I hear a lot when I'm working with people, especially as a career kind of coach, is that people say, it's always been my dream to do this. I've always wanted to do that as a career. I've always wish I'd studied and gone to university and become this person. There's nothing stopping you. The difference between the people that meet their goals and the people who dream is the action points in the middle. Just the stuff in the middle, that the steps about getting there. I've always wanted to own my own business. Go and do it. I've always wanted to be a nurse. Go and do it. You know, the difference between a dream and a goal is what you do to make one of them happen. And that is it. That's simple. So that's your what. Why do you need a goal? Well, it's easy to kind of say if you don't have a goal in life, then you sit around doing nothing all day. And that's not true. And I do disagree with that a little bit, because I think that lots of people can sit around all day and still have goals. You need to have something to aim towards. You need to have something to believe in from a mindset point of view. If you are unhappy and you want to do something new, you want to change something about your life, then the best way to do that is to set goals to do it. Even if you love where you are. So for me, I set weekly goals. I set monthly goals. I've got yearly goals. I'm part of a membership group where we are encouraged to be accountable. So each month we share our monthly goals and we say, right, this is what I'm going to do in October. And then throughout the month, we will kind of jump in and check in on each other and kind of go, right, how are you doing towards that goal? Well, how are you doing with your actions? What have you done recently? So it's really, really important, no matter where you are in life, to make sure that you are aiming towards something new, something different, bringing yourself up a level in whatever you're doing. So that goal might be, you want to learn to bake a cake. It could be that you want to learn to do something new. You want to learn to drive. You want to write a book. It could be anything. And the only difference will be that with your goals, they are things that you are actually putting in place to work towards. So for me, I have kind of 3 areas that I have goals on. So I have my learning and development goals, so things I want to learn about, new subjects I want to learn, a book I want to read, or a subject that I don't know as much about that I want to learn to do. I have my financial goals, which is how much I want to earn every month, how much I want to earn every week, how much I want to earn every year. And I also have my personal development goals, which are the things that I want to do personally to move myself forward and to develop myself as well. So there are, even myself, who I'm running my own business, I'm doing, I've got my children, I've got married, I've got those kind of what people would say are your goals in life. I'm kind of there, I'm happy with where I am, but I still have certain things that I want to achieve in life. There are certain things that I still want to have and goals I want to meet. And I've made my goals to be monthly and weekly so that I can continue to progress and move forward. There is no point me getting to the end of the year and going, I haven't made a lot of money this year. I need to make sure that I have got monthly and weekly goals that I am earning and working towards to make sure that I get that yearly goal. So, goals are very important for everybody for any reason. And if you are looking to move forward financially, personal development, anything like that, the best way to do that is a 4-pillar process. Okay, so this 4-point process is about breaking down your goal. So the first part of your goal is to actually decide what that goal is. Okay, so I'm just gonna your goal doesn't have to be reading. That's just something that I like to do. But it could be that you go on the internet. It could be that you physically learn something. So you join a course, or But it's about what you want it to be, David. So your goal might be just your financial goals. But whether you like reading or not, because you're a business owner, you should have your own personal development goals as well. Your own learning and development, and a lot of those around learning something new. And you might not like to read, but you might need to do it by doing something, by, courses and, Facebook Lives, things like that. But you still need to be able to develop yourself and keep moving forward. So, the first thing you need to do is work out what your goal is. So you need to know, what is your goal? So you need a name, you need a title. It might be, I want to make £1,000 this month. It might be, I want to learn to make a cake. I want to learn to drive. I want to buy a dog. Okay, it could be I want to read a book. It doesn't matter what the goal is. Now what I want you to do is make that goal as big as you possibly can. Okay, so really think outside the box and think about, right, okay, so I've said I want to make £1,000 this month. Is that as big as I can go? Could I make £5,000 this month? Could I make that goal even bigger? It could be, I want to learn to bake a cake. Okay, but what about not just baking a cake? What about making that goal even bigger? What about making a cake for the church fete? What about making a cake for somebody's birthday? What about getting on the Great British Bake Off? You know, just make it a bit bigger. Could be you want to read a book. It's fine. Maybe read 50 books. You know, it's about saying, this is the goal I've got. How can I make sure it's as big as it needs to be? Because there's no point just setting yourself a goal that's nice and easy to reach, because it doesn't stretch your mind, it doesn't push your confidence, and it's too easy to reach. And make it as big as you possibly can. This big audacious goal, make it huge. And then what I want you to do is, once you've made this goal really, really big, I want you to do what we call chunking it back. Okay, so just reading your hi Jazz, welcome to live, not seen you for a while. Learn this continuous process. Setting goals and achieving your goal is not difficult. Exactly. You know, you've got to continually learn and develop yourself, because otherwise what happens is the world overtakes you and you're no longer the leading of your field. Because, you know, you look at blockbusters, you know, they were huge in their time, and they stopped learning, they stopped developing, they stopped making themselves bigger and changing, and, you know, they got overtaken and they're no longer around. So yeah, you definitely have to keep learning and keep developing, and personal development is huge. So once you've got your goal and you've made it huge and you've made this big audacious goal, we want you to chunk it back. So this isn't about making it small, this is about breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. So now we're saying that you want to make £5,000, you want to write a book, you want to get on the British Bake Off, whatever it is. We now want you to chunk that back into smaller pieces. So I want you to think about what you need to do to be able to take those steps to get there. It could be 2 steps, 3 steps, 20 steps, it doesn't matter. So if you wanted to make £1,000 and you've made it £5,000, okay, so how are you going to do that? Is it going to be by selling things? Is it going to be about setting up your own business? Is it going to be car boot sales? Is it, you know, whatever it's going to be. If it's you're going to read 50 books, okay, so your chunks would be, you need to decide what 50 books that's going to be. You're going to decide the authors and the names of the books. You're going to need to make sure that you can get the books. So are they books that you already have access to? Do you have to order them? Do you have the money for them? Are you going to get them in the library? You know, make sure that all those steps are in place. If it's going to be making a cake, okay, so do you have the time? Make sure that you've got the steps to make sure you've got the time to do that. Make sure you've got the ingredients. Make sure there's somebody who eat it. You know, all of those kind of things. Any goal you've got, you need to then chunk it back into smaller pieces. And then the final part of it is to be able to give it a timestamp. And this is the biggest part that people forget. People make goals all the time. They go, I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do it. And then they stop and nothing else happens. Nothing else, you know, they just sit there. And that's because they don't date stamp it. They don't time stamp it. Every goal you set, you must give yourself it's going to happen by date. If you don't date it, if you don't time it, it's never going to happen. So people that say, I'm going to give up smoking, people say, I'm going to start the diet on Monday. Monday comes, don't happen, I'm going to start it next week. No, you need to say, I am going to achieve this by this date. So when people talk about dieting and they say, I'm going to start the diet on Monday, completely wrong way round, okay? What you want to be doing is saying, I'm going to get healthy, I am going to lose weight, I'm going to lose 3 stone, whatever it might be. You need to make sure that you have given yourself those specifics, and then you know when by. So I'm going to lose £3 by the end of October. Simple. Now, instead of saying I'm going to start the diet on Monday, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you start your diet. You are going to have lost £3 by the end of October. So what you start to do is giving yourself a deadline. And you know, from when you work in an office environment or when you're at a job, if you've got a manager saying to you, I need this by 3 o'clock, you get it done by 3 o'clock. If your manager says to you, yeah, get it done sometime this week, it will be done 4:30 on a Friday evening. So you need to give yourself specific dates and times to get these things done by. And what you need to do is be able to make those little chunks time and dated. So these are all the little things you're going to do. this is when you're going to do them by. And to make sure that you can do those things, there's a great model when it comes to goals called SMART goals. And this is where you make the goal specific, you make it measurable, you say it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's timed. And I've discussed this. If you look back in the group, there's a whole big challenge about it, and there's some really great posts and some really great lives actually from other people that took part in the challenge about SMART goals. So I won't go into that too much, but look it up, go into Google, put in SMART goals, you'll find an absolute ton on it. It's really, really helpful. So you need to decide what your goal is. You need to decide that it's as big as you can make it. So make it this big audacious goal, make it huge, make it as big as you possibly can. Chunk it back into smaller pieces, make it bite-sized pieces that you can actually do, actually achieve, and you know each step of the way what you need to do. And then give them a date, give them a time, make sure you know when they're going to happen. And that, by doing that, you're guaranteed to hit your goals. And that's nice and simple. 4 things. That's all you've got to do. 4 things. And you stop it being a dream and you turn it into a goal. And when it becomes a goal, it becomes achievable. It becomes doable. So if you want to change your job and you want to do something different and you hate where you are, fine. Stop it being a dream. Make it a goal. Decide what you want to do for a job. Decide how you're going to do it. Decide if it's the biggest thing you can do, if it's the big goal that you want, if it's the job that you want, great. Chunk it back into smaller pieces. So you need to update your CV, you need to start applying for things, you need to make sure that you're qualified for it, whatever that might be. Do the training you need, all of those stuff. And when are you going to do it by? I'm going to be a nurse by 2019. I'm going to be a brain surgeon. Might be a bit much, but okay, I don't think I could do that anyway. But that's all you need to do. It's nice and simple. So that's been a bit of a kind of a rush through run of goal setting, but it's nice and simple stuff. It's nice and easy, and it's so simple that you shouldn't have to be sitting there saying, I wish I had, I've always dreamed of. Just do it. Get out there. Make your dream into a goal. Make it happen. And it's nice and simple. You can do it. So I believe you can do it. So get out there and do it. So that's been the training tonight. I hope it's been useful. Got any questions? As always, drop the comments here for me, and I will reply to you as I get them. And you know, just let me know how it's going. If you've got any questions, if you want to go through it in more detail, let me know. Just give me a shout, and I will speak to you soon. Oh, sorry, David. Yeah. Okay, do your internet calling. That'd be brilliant. So, your internet calling, David, what you need to do is make sure that you know everything you need to do about it. So, that's probably about a fairly good goal anyway. I don't think you need to make that much bigger at this point. But chunk it back now. So, what I want you to do is go away and think about, okay, what steps do you need to take to do that? And when are you going to do it by? And if you really want, make yourself accountable, stick it in the group and we can make sure you're accountable for it. Let us know how it's going. That's what the group's here for. So if anybody's got any other questions, I will just hang about for 2 more seconds, and because it does take a minute for the comments to appear. And if no one's got any more questions, we can wrap it up. Drinking me tea. Any questions? Nope. Sounds like we're all done. Oh, thank you, iJazz. That's really lovely. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Go to Google Garage next Thursday, and well, happy birthday for next Thursday. 21 again, I take it. And yeah, let me know how it's going. Post in the group. Tell us what you're up to. Let us know what you need, and if I can help, as always, I will. But thank you for joining me tonight. Hope it's been useful. I hope you've been able to take it away with you and learn from it. It'll be on here for the replay if you want to watch back. Other than that, just give me a shout if you need any help. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.